Hey everyone, Steven here once again. Well, welcome to the first race recap of 2025, specifically the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray. Before I talk about that, let's talk about the last chance qualifier race they held earlier in the day. And that was an action-packed race in itself. But ultimately, the three drivers that got in were Kyle Larson, Josh Berry, and Ryan Blaney based on points. And it's kind of a shame that the two modified drivers didn't make it to the main event, but despite that, they had a good run in last chance races in their own right. As for the main event itself, that was a good one. Despite the dominance of Chase Elliott, I'm still happy that he ultimately won the race. So that was a great race, and that was a good race. Despite that, though, Ryan Blaney never impressed me with him starting last, ended up finishing second, and maybe if the 1-2 cautions played out, he probably could have won. And of course, you got Team Penske ended up in the top 10 with Logano the 5th, if I remember correctly, and Cedric ended up 7th last night. It was 3rd for Logano, my mistake. But if it ended up 5th, that was an impressive one for him. And SVG, or Shane Van Gisberger, ended up 9th. That was also impressive, considering that was his first attempt at flat short track outside, I think, Martinsville. And from the highlights I saw on the Fox broadcast, I didn't see the whole thing, so I can't really judge on it. But from the highlights, at least Mike Joy sounded, he was more excited compared to what he has been lately. And of course, you have Boyer and Harvick doing good work as well overall. Because for the most part, I had listened to the MRN broadcast of the race, and I thought they did a good job too. So overall, I would give the Clash 8 out of 10, to be honest. I hope it comes back next year and continues to grow, because I think under the right circumstances, it can work here. Now, of course, there is a rumor that the Clash could go to Brazil at some point, but we'll have to wait and see if that turns out to be true or not. And I know there are some people out there that wants the Clash to return to Daytona, and I get that. And also want just to be how it was with just the pole winners and whatnot, or past winners of the event only. And again, I get that. I get the argument for that too. But let's be realistic here. The last two attempts at the Oval Daytona, now to be honest, it wasn't bad per se, but the only thing I remember about those events was the big wreck that occurred towards the end of the event. There hasn't been a good Clash of Daytona in years, to be honest. Even the road course experiment backfired, more or less. And I just got a theory that, only for nostalgic reasons, why people want the Clash to return to Daytona for. Ignoring that the Clash didn't exactly end on a high note when it was at Daytona. Now, I get the reasoning for it, I really do. But at the same time, they need to at least try something different with the Clash in order to keep it going, instead of just keep going to Daytona all the time, just because it's tradition. Now, I like the Clash when it was at Daytona, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, towards the end, it wasn't a good show. Sad but true. But we have to wait and see what the future holds for the event for 2026 and beyond. That being said, there is one other thing I want to talk about right quick, folks. As a reminder, the first 3 points paying event in Talladega will be on Fox. The rest of the Cup Series schedule, on their portion of the schedule, including the All-Star race, will be on the FS1. And of course, depending on who owns the track, radio coverage will be on MRN for the NASCAR-owned tracks and PRN for the SMI tracks, with the exception of the All-Star race, which will be on MRN. Then, of course, you got the 5 Amazon races after that, plus practice and qualifying for every event besides Daytona and the All-Star race that is left on Amazon as well. Then 5 TNT races with practice and qualifying exclusively on Max and True TV for the rest of the season. Then you got 10 races on USA and 4 on NBC. Daytona and the last 3 races of the season, Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix. So just a reminder on that on the Cup side of things. The 5 Amazon races, as a reminder, would be not in order, but as a reminder, the 5 tracks on Amazon's schedule will be Michigan, Asheville, 600 Charlotte, Mexico, and Pocono. And TNT's in-season tournament will consist of Atlanta, Indy, Chicago, Dover, and Sonoma. Again, not in that order, but those are the 10 races that. But those are the 10 races combined that won't be on either on Fox or FS1 or NBC/USA. And of course, select few Truck Series races will also be on Fox at some point this year, and the Xfinity Series will be exclusive on the CW, but with NASCAR taking over production on that side of things. Which brings me to my final point. I don't know if Fox picked it up or not, but on the MRN broadcast, I heard Rick Allen's voice during pre-race ceremonies and whatnot. So it sounds like he found a similar path that Alan Benson has done when it comes to the motorsport side of things, more or less. Essentially, be the track announcer at a sort of track, and that's good for Rick. I'm glad they still be involved in motorsports to some capacity, even if it's not necessarily on television anymore. And for the record, even though it wasn't Daytona, but the Elliots do join the Earnhardts as the only father-son team, or duo rather, to win at the Clash. So I thought I'd leave you on that little nugget of fun facts. Anyway, nothing for me this week regarding NASCAR, except for the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday. Then next week, it's back to Daytona to see who will qualify for the pole, who will make it in on the dual races, and of course, ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup will ride out the weekend next weekend. And this weekend, obviously, the Super Bowl will be the top story in world of sports. And the only question remaining there is, can Kansas City become the first team ever to win 3 straight Super Bowls? Or can the Eagles do what they did to the Patriots when they appeared in 3 straight Super Bowls and win? Well, for that, you have to watch the game on Fox or listen to it on Westwood One Radio to find out. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.